Welcome everybody back to Veach season to our post-draft spectacular. I am your host. We are your guest hosts, Rocky Magaña and Kramer Sansone, as his real ethnic his ethnic Kels pronunciation instead of Kelsey.
Yep.
After 25 years of being on the goddamn air together, and
it's impressive, actually.
2,500 episodes of Veach season, and he's just now telling me that I've been pronouncing his name wrong for 25 years, for 2.5 decades of partnership. Kramer, I am just now finding out that you like you were a child when I met you. Like, how did you have the wherewithal to craft such a lie and just lie to me all this time?
Well, I mean, Rocky, the truth be told, when I was even in kindergarten, which that was been 3 years after we started this podcast, because if we go with this analogy, we've been doing for 25 years. We'd be talking since I was 3. So even in kindergarten, I wouldn't even spell my last name. I would just put Kramer on everything.
Kramer and Kramer.
It's just easier that way. Just easier that way as a kid.
Yeah. But I like literally, this is the way we started doing this podcast. Was Kramer walked up to me when he was 3 years old and he said, "When I was a young boy, my father led me into the city to see a marching band."
Heck, 25 years ago, you'd be 18?
25 years ago, I'd be 18. I'd just be a young buck.
That's quick math on me. I guess.
Stage, getting my diploma, full of piss and vinegar, and just doing stupid shit. And and dreaming of one day hosting a Chiefs podcast. And here we are.
Yes, we are.
Not hosting one Chiefs podcast, but also doing a post-game show. And also, we did a live stream for the draft, which we'll get to here soon. I am living 3 times the dream, and I am living 15 times the dream because I'm doing it with you.
Hey, I'm glad our lives cross paths, Rocky. And amen to that.
You know, the belief of in like certain creeds and cultures around the world is that the somebody who's your soulmate, like soulmates, are not like people who you're like destined to be in love with and have like a romantic connection with, but it's actually 2 souls that no matter where they're born on planet Earth, at some point in each one of their lives, they find a way to cross paths and get and find their way back to each other. Like, not in a romantic sense, just that their two energy sources are attracted to each other throughout time and space, and no matter what, they attract to each other, and their two souls always come in contact. And that just might be us, Kramer. Maybe we were lovers in another life. Maybe we were brothers in another life. Maybe you were my father, and I sat on your knee on Christmas morning and I thanked you for the toy truck that you carved for me in the woodshed behind our house in the forest.
In the wilderness.
Maybe we were cavemen, and we were the first people to invent the play-by-play of Grunt and Borgog beating out of each other in a mud dog, right? The very first MMA fight in the history of the world, and we were doing the play-by-play on the from the rocks on the front row.
Just tell you what, Rocky, I cannot wait to meet you in person. Like, I seriously cannot wait. One of these days it'll happen.
One of these days it'll happen, and it'll be a beautiful moment. I just imagine it'll be like one of those.
We're going to run in slow motion on the beach type of
exactly slow motion,
right into each other's arms.
I picture Rocky 3 when they're running, and then they're jumping in the waves together and they're splashing.
Yeah.
Tiny shorts on, or either that, or I hope that I'm like Patrick Swayze and you are Baby from Dirty Dancing.
You're gonna
run, and I give you the lift, the Tyler Alive lift, and I spin you around.
Yep.
And then that somebody has it and it ends up on social media.
You don't put me in a corner. God damn it.
Nobody puts Kramer in a corner. That's what I told Serta. He said, no. Keep Kramer behind the glass. He's a producer. And I said, nobody puts Kramer behind the glass. Get him in front of the glass. He's got to do this shit with me. I got to look him in the eye and tell him how much I love him.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And so, but how you doing, buddy?
I'm not too bad. Not too bad. Draft was a lot. Yeah, it was fun. It's good times.
There was a
Good times.
draft this weekend.
Oh man, if you were living under a rock, you missed it all.
Holy shit! Did Shadur go
Oh,
in
let
the
me
top
check.
five?
Let me check. Is he gone? Is he gone? Oh, he's still falling as we speak.
He's still sliding. He fell into a bottomless pit, and he just is eternally falling deeper and deeper into the nether as we speak.
Good Minecraft term.
Yeah, good Minecraft. I was just watching Minecraft videos with my son before we hopped on.
Have you watched the movie yet?
No, I have not seen the movie.
Dude, you need to take him to go see the movie.
My son has never played the game, but he is obsessed with Minecraft Legos and Minecraft. Oh, perfect. So we're not talking football.
You're right. You're right.
For getting
Got
it up. He's obsessed with Minecraft Legos and with Minecraft like videos on YouTube. Specifically, these two guys called Mikey and JJ who just do like all these different like crazy things, like who can build the best water slide, who can craft the best weapon, yada yada yada.
To save your money right now, just get him a console, get him Minecraft, and he will just be playing it the entire rest of his however he feels like it. I'm being dead serious when I say that. You'll save so much money in the long term, because if you're buying Legos now, the prices are going to keep going up. So they've been going up like crazy on Lego within the last 5 years.
I know, but the difference is with Legos, I can convince his mother that he's like doing something productive with his time, and he's like learning like tactile skills, and he's learning to build and all these things.
You can learn engineering in the video game.
Oh, I agree with you. It's not that you don't have to convince me, Kramer. I'm gonna go get my wife and bring her onto this podcast, and you can try to convince her.
Yeah, I can do that.
Why I should let my 4-year-old play 16 hours of video games a day?
Shoot, I wish I could go back to doing that. That would be so much fun. I need to start streaming. I think I should start streaming video games.
Yeah, I'm on it enough. Let's just turn this into a Twitch podcast, where we just stream video games instead. This could be an NCAA 2026 podcast.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, Serta's been adding new shows left and right to this thing. So we're only growing and getting bigger. So I don't see why we couldn't do it.
That's true. What we should do is that we should start a podcast where we go around the league, we find the most passionate supporters of each team, like the guys who like jump through tables for Bills Mafia, whoever like the most crazy.
I don't want to talk to those guys.
No, we call them and then we bring them on here, and then we talk about sports with them, and then we can call the podcast Only Fans, because it's only for the fans.
I like that. That actually is pretty good. Actually, that's really good.
The OnlyFans podcast.
That's really good.
Yeah, and we're gonna be naked with our dicks in the screen.
Okay. All right, you lost me. You lost me there, Rocky.
No, I'm joking. We we have done 2,500 of these episodes, and we have yet to show one penis.
It's good
on our live stream.
That's good.
I mean, the clock is ticking. Let's be honest.
Okay, I mean, we're gradually getting there.
Hey, listen, leave it in the comments section now. Who's more likely to show their member live on air, me or Kramer, or Serta, if we ever get him on this show?
I don't think that'll never happen. Serta does not want to be on this show.
Yeah, he does not. And if he comes on the show, we're definitely not going to get to see the Serta sausage.
No, that actually might be the most corporate show we might ever have if Serta's on.
Yeah, but I will say this: we'll get into this.
Steve.
We'll get into this for a second, because Corporate Steve and me did the big boss and me did a first round draft live stream with the Nightly Fix guys, and I tell you what, it was a hell of a time. And you popped on there for a minute, and we probably spent a good 30 minutes just talking about Jerry Jones and glory holes. So
no kidding.
Yeah. So Serta wasn't like participatory as maybe we were, as far as like saying the punchlines, but he was definitely getting dirty with it and getting down with it, and he wasn't shying away from the topic of Jerry Jones and glory holes. So
I could see it.
So that tells me that the boss might actually be a fan of the show, listen to us, and when he ever does come on, he might actually be down to
Show some
rip
dong.
it up. Yeah, to show some dong. He had to pull his dong out on the air and give everybody what they've been asking for.
It's like a button with a fur coat, probably. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you guys. Thank you for having me on for the Raiders selection. It was good, and yeah, thanks for having me on for a solid minute or two.
What I need to know more than anything, Kramer, is
Yeah.
this is before we get to what's hot with Krame Dog. Also, before we get to any of that, going back to the live stream really quick. Thank you to everybody. You guys made it a huge success. 8,500 live streamers at one point on the broadcast.
It's impressive. Good job.
Hanging out with us, kicking
Good for
it,
you guys.
listening to us break down the draft. It was like, I honestly, my jaw was on the ground as I was watching it, the numbers. And I got off and I just walked in and to my wife, and she was like, "Hey, how'd it go?" And I was like, "Babe, I don't even have the words." Like,
did you sweat during it?
For how effing cool it was. What?
Did you sweat during it?
Sweat during what?
During you see they go climb from like 6 to 7 to 8. Were you like?
Oh, no, I wasn't pitting. I was rock hard under my desk. The whole time I saw that number rising. When that number went up, so did I. If you know what I mean.
Beach season, baby.
Beach season. No, I walked in. I told my wife, I was like, I don't know the words, babe. Like, I can't. Like, I was like just blown away by the support, and it was the 1 year. It was the 1 year anniversary of Foolish Club Media, right? And so it was. It was pretty awesome. So everybody who's rocked with us for the last year and made Veach season what it is, and made the post-game shows and everything else we do, just keep hanging out with us. We're continuing to grow, continue to try to give you guys the best possible and most entertaining content I would say that we can like plan out, but let's face it, like this show is planned out like I don't know, like
weeks in advance.
Weeks. Yeah, I mean, I plot out these episodes just months and weeks in advance, and I stick to a very, very strict formula with them when I'm writing up the show outlines.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very strict.
Very, very strict. You ought to see how detailed my notes are just right here that we're working off of here. They're extremely, extremely detailed.
They are. I can't believe it's 15 pages.
I mean, single spaced, 10-point font, right? And we're talking like just normal Times New Roman, not Curry, not none of this wider Courier New bullshit. Like just like straight up, like your grandfather's font.
Wait, I don't think I even know the new. I don't think I even know the new stuff. I'm so far out on it.
Yeah, like we're not using Arial or Calibri or any of this other bullshit. We're using good old fashioned American Times New Roman, the shit that the forefathers used on the Declaration of Independence. Something you could really cram some words in there with.
And they'll sign big like John Hancock.
Yeah, man.
I'm definitely getting sick. My voice cracked right there. I think there's something coming. I'm getting a bug.
Getting the bug. Sorry. You okay?
It is what it is.
You may send you some lozenges, some Ricolas.
I think I'll be okay.
Today's episode brought to you by
Ricola.
By human diseases. By Ricola. If you're getting sick,
all that too much red dye I can't have anymore. I need some. I'm itching.
Yeah, I need more red dye. All right, yeah. So anyway, we're 14 minutes into the episode, so you guys know what that means. It's time for What's Hot with Krame Dog.
All right, Rocky, I'll tell you what. I have nothing sports related to talk about, so that means the picture's going up. I had Slaps barbecue for the first time today here in Kansas City, and I had it for basically breakfast. We had it in our morning show, but I ate it again for dinner tonight, and I just wanted to talk about how good Slaps barbecue truly is. I have been sleeping on that thing, slaps, and it might have to be up there in my Mount Rushmores of barbecue here in Kansas City, and it's not even close, man. It is. I'm impressed. I had way too many burnt ends tonight. I'm kind of in a food coma, so if I do feel like I'm kind of like lethargic and also more of that, it's because I need to drink more water because I was just housing burnt ends the entire time and some ribs. It was fantastic, Rocky.
You guys got it from the they still only have one location right down there on Central Avenue in KCK.
Yep, it's 11 minutes from my work.
Ah, man, yeah, that place is awesome. I
It's so good.
I love everything about it. Like it just looks so cool too from the outside. Like I like the red brick building, and it got like, you know, it looks like an old school barbecue spot, right? And then you go inside and the food is, I mean, yeah, it slaps. It is the
Oh, it
shit.
slaps
And
so good.
it's so good. I mean, they like you can always tell if somebody knows what they're doing on the ribs if they have like that pink smoke ring around the inside
Oh
of
yeah,
the meat,
oh yeah.
right? And there's always a nice, hearty, healthy pink ring around the inside of the ribs, and it's just the place is one of the best places in Kansas City, which means it's one of the best places in the world. I mean, we're known for our barbecue for a reason, and places don't survive in Kansas City if they're mediocre.
Exactly. And plus also, I really judge barbecue on whether or not I need to put barbecue sauce on the actual meat itself or not. Didn't need to put barbecue sauce on this meat, and it was so juicy and good. Oh my goodness. Even after I baked it back in the oven to heat it up for dinner, man, it was just everything about it so good. So if you're in the Kansas City area, we'll plug the Slaps barbecue right here.
Yeah, Slaps, we love you, Slaps. Feel free to send us some barbecue for pimping you out, because we do love you. What did you have? You said you had burnt ends?
Burnt ends and ribs.
The rib. God, that's the perfect combo, right?
Oh, so good.
So beef
so
and pork.
good.
Oh, it's so good. Man,
I'm feeling like I'm bloated right now. I'm like more leaned back in my chair than I typically am. So it's I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fat and happy tonight.
Man, you just got me like I'm about to get on the website and see if they deliver, if they'll like ship.
That'd be sweet if they could.
I know Joe's does. Joe's will do it. They'll ship.
Joe's is good. Joe, that's good.
They do it like with like freezer packs, right? You know, you have to reheat it, but maybe I can get Slaps to ship me some barbecue.
That'd be sweet. You need some slaps. You need some slaps in your life.
Oh my God. Everybody needs some Slaps in their life. Slaps is it's amazing barbecue. Every time I go into Kansas City, it's like a must have. So
amen.
Yeah. Oh, delicious.
So that's what's hot with Krame Dog.
God, Krame, you got me hungry now, bro.
In the comment section, how about you tell us what your favorite barbecue joint is?
Yeah,
5-star review on it.
Yeah. Hit us in the comment section. Leave us a 5-star review. Tell us what your favorite barbecue is. Tell us what you think the worst barbecue in Kansas City is.
Yeah, please do. Actually, I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious if it's like the Hereford House where the guy was basically pissing all over the meat and serving it to people.
You know what? Like, even though
gross.
Even though the guy was pissing all over the meat, I'd still rather eat that than Famous Dave's.
Oh yeah, I agree. I absolutely yeah.
Oh God.
Or Dickie's. Don't give me a chain restaurant that's here in Kansas City.
Jesus, dude. You know how bad Dickie's is? Dickie's is so bad that it went out.
How bad is it?
They went out of business in Tampa because they were so bad.
I'm pretty sure out of business here in Liberty, like, because I don't think it's even over there anymore.
Yeah, no, it was so bad that like people in Tampa who are conditioned to eat terrible barbecue.
And my brother loves Dickie's. He's like, oh, I love that Dickie's barbecue. And I'm like, what? I love my brother, but man.
Is he mentally well?
I like to think he is.
Wow.
I love you, Carter.
Crazy. That's so crazy. Carter Sansone, do better. Do better. Have better opinions of barbecue. Leave a comment and tell Carter to do better.
He can barbecue. He could be a pit master.
What's he doing over at Dickie's?
He's just trying to scope out what not to do, I feel like.
But then he likes it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Does he like it? Like he thinks it's good, or does he like it like I like spicy McChicken sandwiches and I'll house like 3 of them because they're quick and easy?
Probably like that. It's probably that.
Yeah, I'll eat spicy McChicken sandwiches every day for lunch just because they're easy and they're cheap. And
there's like a hole in the wall barbecue joint up in St. Joe called Big Daddy's and Sons. Oh, that's good barbecue.
So aside from Slaps, is that your favorite?
No. All times Joe's. It's got to be Joe's. But
Joe's good. Yeah, I mean, I love me a Rocket Pig sub.
I haven't
Texas
had Rocket
toast.
Pig in a minute.
Yeah, Rocket Pig sub Texas toast for the bun, and that is the shit right there. That's the sandwich. Also, burn-ins from Joe's are awesome. Ribs.
Just give me the Z-Man any day, every day.
Yeah, Z-Mans are amazing. Else, don't sleep on LCs. LCs is the
It's good.
shit.
It's good.
Yeah, love me some LCs barbecue. If I'm gonna go Arthur Bryant's, I like going at lunchtime and getting the rib tip special. That's with fries.
Never had Arthur Bryant's.
Dude, okay, so like if you go there at lunch, get the rib tip special, and it's just a pile of rib tips on a plate, and it's so fucking good. With a sweet spicy sauce, a side of fries, which you're not going to need because they're huge. The serving is huge, and then a beer. Oh man, that'll set you right for a really long time.
I'm gonna. Yes, I have to try this out. I have to.
All right. Well, Kansas City, let us know what's your favorite. What's your favorite barbecue? And don't say Q39 because if I wanted to get dressed up to go eat barbecue, I'd fly to New York City.
See, I think Jack Stack's overrated.
Yeah, any place that's like that you got to like get fancy for.
Well, Jack Stack you have to get fancy for. You just gotta hopefully you get the right portions. I don't want to go to a barbecue joint just for the sides. I'm going there for the meat.
Exactly. Like all respect to Trevor Sikkema at PFF and the draft work he does, but like every time he talks, and he's from Tampa, right? That's why his Twitter handle is Tampa Bay Trey. He's from Tampa, so this makes sense. But he always talks about when you go to a barbecue restaurant, you have a 3 sides minimum that you have to order. And that just tells me that the meat isn't worth going to that barbecue restaurant. If you're going to a barbecue restaurant to eat the sides, then you're in the wrong barbecue restaurant.
Yep.
If you need sides, you're in the wrong place. Now, whenever I get a Rocket Pig at Joe's, I get fries because the fries are delicious. But the sandwich is the GD centerpiece every single time.
Yep. Amen. I'm so happy we agree on this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah, the meat has to be the centerpiece. Otherwise, you're in the wrong place.
Yep.
And I don't like the portions. And also, don't shit me on the portions, bro. That's my thing with Q39 also.
Hey,
it's super fancy. And they just, the portions are just tiny. And they try to do I like, sure, if I'm going to a steakhouse, put chimichurri on my steak. But if I'm ordering barbecue, don't put effing chimichurri on my barbecue. Like dry rub it, smoke it well, low and slow, and then give me a big portion of it on top of white bread. And if the meat doesn't come on top of white bread, then the place is bullshit. That's my other rule.
At times I go without the bread. It's less carbs. It's good for me.
You can say you go without the bread, but if the place doesn't put their meat on top of white bread, then the place is bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree.
If you don't have to eat the bread, but your meat needs to come on top of the bread. It's manners.
Oh, exactly. How else are you supposed to properly clean your plate after?
What are you supposed to wipe your hands and face with?
That too.
What are you supposed to take home and dab your face with so that you smell like the aura and deliciousness, of
wherever you ate
all day? Yeah, that doesn't just you can't throughout the week. You just wake up and you just do a slight dab. It just you nurse the grease a little bit throughout the week so that you smell like your meal for a week straight. It's like they give you a swag bag every time you go and eat that.
That's a good point. That's ridiculous. Veach season, baby. Let's go.
Veach season. 24 minutes in. Let's talk about the draft. All right. So the Chiefs had an NFL draft.
Wait, there was a draft?
There was a draft, and the Chiefs made 7 selections in the draft, which was impressive. And they ended up with a 5th round draft pick they didn't originally have because they traded back. They traded back in the first round.
Knew that was happening. I knew that was going to happen. I knew they were going to trade back.
The moment that Brett Veach was talking about how he doesn't like to trade back and it's not in his nature to trade back, you had to like part of you had to be like, like that, and I fell for it because I wrote all about how Veach doesn't like to trade back because that was the article that was assigned to me over at Arrowhead Pride, and then I was like, in my part of the back of my head was like, watch this MFer he's gonna trade back in the first round. He sits there making a big deal about not doing it, and he's gonna turn around and do it. Now it was only one spot, but he used it to pick up an extra 5th round draft pick that turned into a one we'll talk about in a minute, who I think is probably going to be a pretty good player for them. But anyway, so as the first round goes through, there's a little bit of a run on offensive tackles at one point, and all the offensive tackles are off the board, including Josh Carnley Jr., with the exception of Josh Simmons, and then he slides all the way to 32, where the Chiefs select him with the 32nd overall pick. Now, he wasn't my favorite offensive tackle in the first round. I was pretty vocal about that. I like Josh Carnley better. That's who I wanted the Chiefs to take. Kelvin Banks Jr. There was no chance they were getting Kelvin Banks Jr.
Yeah, for real.
Going in the top 10, like that, like he was.
Bravo to the Saints, right? Saints got him.
Yeah. The Saints made the right decision, but there was no way that the Chiefs even had an opportunity to trade up and get him. So Chiefs ended up with Josh Simmons in the first round of the draft. Kramer, how do you feel about that pick?
So I like what the Chiefs did in order to get that pick. I feel like they were all in on Josh Carnley Jr. I really feel that. And then once the Commanders took them, which was 2 picks before the Chiefs, they were like, all right, let's figure some things out here. Getting that 5th round pick, I do enjoy the fact, but I do not like the selection of Josh Simmons. You're basically redshirting him. And how many times have we seen the Kansas City Chiefs redshirt a player going back to Lucas Niang handful of years ago? He basically did it with Kingsley, and how the track record's not great when it comes to redshirting guys. But I mean, you needed a tackle, you got him. He might start the season off on the PUP list. Not sure yet. I hope he doesn't. But the injury concerns are already there for myself. He didn't play the second half of the season at all. Didn't even see him in the national title game. Like, that's when you're. I mean, granted, I know people set out and all, but if you were good to go and able to suit up, that'd have been great to see him play one more final game at Ohio State, but he couldn't do that. I do not like this pick whatsoever, but the Chiefs needed a tackle. They got I would say the best available at that time, and they pulled the trigger and they got him, and they also got a 5th round pick out of it, which like I said, I think the 5th round pick helps this draft selection out way more than it's supposed to.
The counterpoint to that is that he is more pro ready and immensely more talented than Kingsley or Lucas Niang were.
Oh yeah,
they got injured and they came out in the draft. Like he is more pro ready. He's a more complete offensive lineman. Andy says he thinks he's going to be ready by training camp. Time will tell. He could just be lying, right? Like you don't know. But Andy says they feel good about him being ready by training camp, even if he's not. That's why you have Jalen Moore, right?
Oh, yeah.
To start the season off.
And honestly, I wouldn't be mad if after this season, if he ends up not working out left tackle and say Moore is absolutely the guy at left tackle and they want to extend him, lock him up. Here's a great right tackle in Simmons. Like, I'm being dead serious when I say this. Like, you have Jawan Taylor being done after this upcoming season, and then you have Simmons for the next 4 or 5 years after that. Like, I think everything's going to work out for the Chiefs no matter what this pick.
Well, and here's the thing is, Andy alluded to this a little bit, saying that he's going to play the best. He's going to take the best 5 linemen and find a way to get them on the field.
Good.
And I think that may present itself by week 8 as Josh Simmons at left tackle, Jalen Moore at right tackle, and then Kingsley or whoever, or Hunter Nourzard or whoever they end up getting, maybe another veteran if they bring somebody else in, but at left guard, and then Creed and Trey on the inside. Or maybe if Jawan has turns it around, has a great year, maybe Jawan sticks on the right and then Jalen Moore moves inside to left guard. Or maybe Wanya's thick ass plays really well at left guard.
Yeah.
Right. And you have Josh Simmons, Wanya Morris, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Jalen Moore on your offensive line, and you feel not too shitty about that if that's what it is, and they're playing to their potential. So And so it's gonna be interesting to see how it shakes out. I think that the Chiefs' offensive line is without a doubt, with the addition of Jalen Moore and Josh Simmons, in a light years better position than it was in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I agree. I
Right?
agree.
Like there's like
Anything's
even
gonna
with the
help.
subtraction of Joe Thuney, it's there just having two guys who can play left tackle, like it's such an upgrade over
Oh,
what they had.
I think they upgraded it when they signed Moore as free agency. Like I feel confident saying that. I just wish the Chiefs could have either traded up to get Connolly Jr., a guy who's
Yeah,
proven
would have
and
been
ready.
nice to see. Would have been nice to see them make a move for Connolly Jr. There was a couple of opportunities they had in the draft to move up to get guys where they didn't. Where I thought that they didn't. Like, even though I liked all the players they got from a player level, maybe I didn't like the positions or the times when those positions in the rounds they were selected, or maybe I liked some positions better than the positions that they selected. Even though I like the players they selected, right? So
Yeah.
it's hard, it's rough. Second round, Omar Norman Lott, defensive tackle from Tennessee. He's an interesting one because he never played full time in college. Like, he never played a full season. He was always a part-time player. He was always a couple down player, and take a couple downs off. And you turn on his tape, and he has and you don't know why. Like, his tape is excellent. The snaps that he's on the field, he's an electric pass rusher, and he plays the run really, really well. Now, there is rumors out there that maybe he wasn't the best guy off the field or in the clubhouse early in his career, and that affected his playing time. There's also another rumor out there that he may have a chronic knee problem.
Ooh.
And so maybe that's why he wasn't able to carry a full workload, that he only played part-time, because that's all his body could handle. The Chiefs seem to feel okay enough with his medicals that they took him in the second round when nobody else did. But just from a talent perspective, not knowing, because like we can always like speculate all these things, but nothing's confirmed, right? There's no confirmed story that any of this is true for him. All we know is that he didn't ever play a full season, and his tape is really awesome. So there's some disconnect there, right? There's some reason why. But that being said, the downs that he's going to be on the field, even if he only plays on third downs and he lines up next to Chris Jones and prevents Chris Jones from getting double teamed, those boys are going to do some nasty shit on the inside of the Chiefs defensive line, and they're going to F up some centers and guards together.
Yeah,
like, it's going to be mean.
He's a nice player. He is. I wish there would have been more of him in college, but luckily we get to see the best of. And whatever you show your best of, and you're always on the field, you're showing your best. I think you're going to keep a good track record going it that way. It's like the Chiefs use every single defensive tackle, like every single down. They don't do that. They always rotate the guys in. The person that stays out there the most is Chris Jones. And pairing him up, like you said, in the third down situations, beautiful, like fantastic. That's exactly what you need to have a guy for him. And then after, if it's not third down, get your big ass over on the sideline, get someone out there, fresher legs, and rotate them on in. Like, that's what the Chiefs do. So I think it worked perfectly.
And I tell you what, the big winner in this draft, I feel like, is Fabian Lovett, because he's been sitting on the practice squad since last year, and he's just a big, thick ass, run-eating defensive lineman. And so if Norman Lott's not going to be on the field on running downs, and Mike Pennell and Derek Nottie are both a year older, there's an opportunity for somebody to come in. We also have Sika Ika, right? Also on the practice squad.
Is he?
I believe that's what we have.
Chiefs.
I believe so. Let's look. Sika Ika. Can't see Chiefs. Yep. Sayaki Ika is on the Chiefs practice squad as well. 6'3", 335. So there is an opportunity for Fabian Lovett and Sayaki Ika to both earn snaps in this defense as run stuffing nose tackles, or run stuffing like one tackle.
Yeah, I hope so.
In this defense. And then on passing downs, the Chiefs also we'll skip ahead here a minute, and we'll come back to the third round. with their first pick in the third round. The Chiefs also drafted Ashton Gelati, and so like that's back-to-back pass rushers right there that the Chiefs added, to pair up with George Karlaftis, Charles Omenihu, and Chris Jones. That's a pretty strong, like physically strong pass rush. Like it's not the fastest, it's not the most bendy, it's not even the most twitchy, but like from a brute strength aspect, the Chiefs are going for brute strength pass rush and bullying pass rush in this draft. And Ashton Gelati, like here's like the kid is a workout warrior. His mom is his strength and conditioning coach. Like his mom is a strength and conditioning coach for a living. He looks the part. The dude is freaking jacked. He's a thick, solid ass boy. And he plays super strong. And him and George Karlaftis are buddies, right? Like George Karlaftis is kind of his mentor a little bit because they had the same defensive line coach in college, and because George's defensive line coach moved to Louisville. And so he worked out with George in the offseason. He called George a friend who was very critical and offered him a lot of good criticism on his game.
Good.
Constructive criticism.
That's the best criticism. Constructive.
Yeah, if you want to be good in this game and you want to be a pro, like this is what you need to do, and you need to stop doing this kind of things. And then Brett Veach and Andy Heck were saying that George Karlaftis was essentially lobbying for Ashton Gelati to be drafted by the Chiefs. So you like to hear that because I do trust George. I think he does know what he's talking about. I think he's proven to be a pretty solid player in this league. And I think that there's a lot of Ashton Gelati's game that mimics George Karlaftis' very, very much. Like they're very similar players, except for I think that Ashton Gelati is significantly stronger than George Karlaftis.
Is Gelati going to get more snaps over FAU?
Yeah. I think that honest to God, I think that that George, Gelati, and Omenihu are going to rotate snaps at edge, and they'll put Omenihu inside sometimes, but I think that they're really going to try to live with Jones and Norman Lott on the inside, and then of course we know that Chris is going to play where Chris wants to play. So
yeah, that's fair.
So if Chris wants to line up at edge on a play, he's going to kick Ashton Gelati or Karlaftis inside, which is fine though because both those guys are big enough and strong enough that they can hold up on the inside too.
I just wish the selection of the Chiefs would have assessed the running back.
Well, yeah, I agree. I wish the Chiefs would have assessed the running back, especially with their next pick, which was Noah Williams.
I like him though.
I know. I like him too. We talked about him in the draft lead up. He led the NCAA and interceptions. He's a big, strong press man corner. He can also play zone. He's not the twitchiest guy, but he's physical and he's got he doesn't back down for anybody. He likes to get in there and scrap. Sometimes he's a little too physical, which we know Steve Spagnuolo is going to like. But the problem is at the time when they drafted Noah Williams, you had like Caleb Johnson still on the board. It's like
Dylan Sampson as well.
Yeah, Dylan Sampson's still on the board, and you're like, well, gosh, man, like, sure, I get it, but
throw me a freaking bone.
But like, you could have an elite backfield, and I understand you want to have another perimeter cornerback because you want to be able to push McDuffie back inside, and you also want a perimeter cornerback because it gives you a little bit of leverage in negotiations with McDuffie.
I get that. I do.
All these things for business and a holistic aspect of the team. But this is especially where I'm talking about where I like the players, but I don't like the position selected because here I was just like, man, Noah Williams, I love you, man. You're a good player. But there was like also Kyle Kennard, Jack Sawyer, like elite pass rushers also still on the board. And it's like,
Kyle Kennard going to the Chargers. That hurts.
Yeah, it's like there was so many moments where it was like, awesome, the Chiefs are coming up, and there's so many good players still on the board, and then just the way the board fell, right? Because the Chiefs needed running back and edge, and that's two super deep positions, and then they would take another position. You're just like, man, Like I love the player. I don't think that Brett Veach selected bad players. I think all these players are going to be excellent players for the Chiefs. But it's like you had an opportunity to like if you added another edge rusher there, like a Kyle Kennard, then all of a sudden you're talking like who's going to stop this pass rush
But
kind of thing.
they also needed some help in the secondary. I know they've Christian Fulton they signed in free agency, but this is just another guy they're going to add to the rotation of guys. But I mean, maybe Noah Williams can beat out Fulton and for some reps and stuff. But
I think he will, and I think that
I do too.
To be had. What Noah Williams does is he guarantees that Najee Johnson and Jamari Connor keep their ass
exactly. I mean, at times I do like Najee. I think Nazee's a better safety than he is a corner, but get Jamari Connor off the field. I love the guy.
It's gonna allow Jamari Connor to move back to safety where he belongs.
Yeah,
and where he's more comfortable. I feel like, and so it was a good pick. It's not like here's my analogy on it. My 4-year-old son, when he grows up, wants to drive the Gravedigger monster truck, right? Like that's his job. That's his drive that he wants to do. He wants to drive Gravedigger and be a monster truck driver. And as his dad, I think that is really cool. And I love that, right? I love it. I think that's a great job. But I also if I'm bragging a little bit, my kid is exceptionally smart for a 4-year-old and exceptionally intelligent. And he could do anything that he wants and be a success. He could be the first oncologist on Mars, for God's sakes, if he wanted to be, right? Jeez, he's like that smart. And I don't know where he got it. Didn't get it from me, but he's smart as shit. He gets it from his mom.
Clearly your wife.
Yeah, clearly my wife, not me at all. But so then I'm like, okay, well, while he wants to be the Gravedigger truck driver, and I think that's amazing, it's like, yeah, that's awesome. But this is like first in history awesome versus like really, really awesome. And so I'm like, okay, that's how I feel about Noah Williams and versus if they would have got like a pass rusher or Caleb Johnson. It's like, okay, yeah, this could have been way up here, but this is still right here and it's still super cool. Right? I'm not going to be upset.
Right. No, I get it.
If Noah Williams grows up to drive the Gravedigger monster truck, I'm not going to be mad about it.
I'm cool with it. Like I get what you mean. I am. I like Noah Williams a lot. He was one of the favorite guys that that the Chiefs take. Like I think there's at least 2 guys this draft that I absolutely love the fact that the Chiefs took, and the next one's the guy that they took next, and Jalen Royals. I don't know how in the hell he fell to Kansas City. Like that's a player you circle. Every single team in the NFL, all 31 teams should have circled that guy's name and said, we can't allow this to happen. They allowed it to happen, Rocky. They allowed it. He's going to be so good in this system.
Krame, it was fate. It was fate. The Chiefs Royals jersey is going to sell like hotcakes.
Oh no, he's gonna get paid alone just for that.
Yeah. Like it's gonna be the highest selling jersey in the NFL.
He didn't realize it.
Royals jersey.
He didn't even realize it.
Man, it's so great for him. And I mean, I want one. I want a Chiefs Royals jersey. You kidding me? That sounds awesome.
It does sound pretty cool. It does.
Sounds so cool. Like Patrick Mahomes is probably going to wear a Chiefs Royals jersey because of his affiliations.
Yeah, I mean, you should.
Yeah, you should. And I mean, on top of that, he's a complete package at a wide receiver. He's fast for his size. He's 205. He can play. He might not be able to play the X as well as some guys in the league, but he can play the Y and the Z and move all over the field.
You don't need him to play the X here. The X is already filled.
Yeah, you don't need to play the X here at all. And so that's what I'm saying is like he fills a need that the Chiefs have, and he's a tough, gritty, like he'll fight contested catches, going over the middle, great route runner, good speed, good footwork. Maybe could be a little more agile after the catch. Sure, if you want to be nitpicky, but like you'll talk about a guy who's just like a pro ready wide receiver who's going to play 10 years in the league and be productive all the time and be a fan favorite just because of the way he plays the game. Like that's Jalen Royals. Like it was it was an A++ pick in my book.
That's probably my favorite pick this entire draft was that.
Like if Royals didn't hurt his foot in October, there's a chance that he could have been late first round pick.
Could have easily.
Yeah, he could have been a late first round pick in this draft if he wouldn't have gotten hurt. And the Chiefs got him in the
fifth?
In the fifth. It looks like, I think it was, right. Yeah.
This is the pick they got from the Eagles, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And then that was their Eagles pick they got for trading back. So they traded back. So they traded back with the Eagles, and they got Josh Simmons and Jalen Royals. And if you look at it in that light, you're like, okay, that's not too bad, right? Now the next guy, Jeffrey Boss or Jeff, he goes by Jeff also, so you know, Kramer. Jeffrey Boss.
Jeff or Jeffrey?
Jeff. He goes by Jeff. So Jeff Bossa. Jeff Bossa was the next pick at 133 for the Chiefs, and or they traded up for him, actually. They didn't take him at 133. They traded 133, and they traded the Thuney pick to move up and take Jeff Bossa, linebacker out of Oregon. And like, if you say, "Oh, we traded 133 and Joe Thuney for Jeff Bossa," you're like, "Oh, well, that's kind of a bad trade." Like, if you take it in that light, but it is what it is. Like draft picks are draft picks are cryptocurrency. Like, the value you want them are what are only what you perceive it to be. You know what I mean?
Good point.
And
I'm not a big fan of him. I don't know if he sticks, but yeah, he's a good off-ball linebacker.
Here's the deal: he fills a role for what Drew Tranquill struggled with last year, and what they're going to be without next year. He's a Drew Tranquill replacement. He's a safety converted to linebacker who is still the size of a safety, and that's the issue. He has trouble getting off of blocks in the running game. He's not going to give you a lot in run defense. He's not going to play a lot of running downs. I don't think
he shouldn't.
Third down coverage, off ball linebacker, moving in space, sideline to sideline. The dude's a freaky athlete. The guy is explosive, twitched up, like the guy can scoot.
Like, it's like an undersized Willie Gay.
Yeah, he's like an undersized Willie Gay who's also faster.
Oh, Willie had some wheels. Willie had some wheels.
I know. I think he's still faster. I think he's a faster, more agile, less strong, smaller Willie Gay. And so there's gives and takes with it. I think he's going to be.
Yeah.
He has.
Prove me wrong, Jeff. Prove me wrong.
I think that if you want a good comp for Jeff Bossa, it's Isaiah Simmons, and say what you want about that, right? Like, I think that in the right scheme and used correctly, Isaiah Simmons could still be a really good player in this league.
I do too. Yeah,
but I think he
played him. That's a name that he had the trajectory of being one of the best, but it just
pride of Olathe North High School.
Yep,
Isaiah Simmons, where Darren Sproles also went to. I mean, talk about a local program that cranks out players, though. That's Olathe North, man. They got some football players.
Yeah, they do.
And so and I'm only biased because I grew up wrestling at Olathe North, so but still.
Heck, I've been you might like this. I'm playing my baseball games this season now at Blue Valley High School, all the way down there.
We're going over here on the Kansas side of things.
Yeah, that's where our league is now this year.
Who are you? The Kansas City Chiefs crossing over the border?
Yeah, basically.
Wow,
it's cheaper to go play in Kansas than it is in Missouri.
Your Confederate roots. Your Confederate ancestors are rolling over in their graves. Jesse James and Robert Ford are rolling over in their graves at your betrayal and Yankee loving ways.
Hey, hitting dingers on the other side. I can't wait till I get a hold of one.
Dropping dongers all over Kansas.
Oh yeah. By the way, no, I should probably put this in what's hot, Krame Dog. I told you about the perfect game, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The guy you pitched this week and threw a no-hitter.
Ah, man.
The guy is a stud. He's a stud.
Who is this kid? You got
He's not a kid. He's 30.
You got 37-year-old out there on the man.
He's a 37-year-old grizzled vet. He's a stud.
You got what's his face from The Rookie? You got the guy
You got,
from the movie.
you got Dennis Quaid out there.
You got Dennis Quaid out there. You got Kevin Costner from A Perfect Game playing throwing baseballs out there.
Yeah, basically, he's dealing.
You got Nolan Ryan wearing like facial prosthetics to like hide his identity to go out there and throw baseballs.
Basically,
Yeah.
it was good. We're 3-1 on the season, so yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, like who would be a former pro pitcher that like when they're older, like they weren't good enough that they're like if Nolan Ryan goes out there, you're like, okay, Nolan, what are you doing? But like they weren't good enough that you're like, oh, what are you doing? But they weren't bad enough that you're like, oh, they could probably
so like a Luke Hochevar.
Yeah, like a Luke Hochevar, like a Sal Fasano.
Yeah.
Guy, right? And yeah, those type of
What about
guys.
Jose Lima? Could you see Jose Lima doing
Yeah,
that?
I can see Jose Lima. Yeah, but yeah, I can see him out there, dealing. Yeah, like in a beer league or whatever. Yeah, Jose Lima, I could definitely see doing it.
Maybe Gil Mesh. You think Gil? No, like he's not. He won't be doing something like that.
No, I was thinking like maybe Tom Gordon.
I could see Tom. I could see Tom doing that.
I can see Tom Gordon.
I can see Chris.
Patrick Mahomes Senior.
Senior, definitely senior. Definitely senior. Lock that in.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes Senior though might go full Lawrence Phillips and get in his car and try to run a kid over.
And it's crazy too because John Rocker would make sure he's there as well to make sure he gets him his licks.
Yeah. John Rocker will be there getting his licks in. Yeah. Who else? Mike Mussina's too good.
Yeah, he's way too good. Way too good.
Way too good. Bud Black, too good. I can see Roger Clemens doing it just because he's a dickhead.
I mean, the Rocket kind of did it with the Sugarland Skeeters.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He did.
Jose Canseco.
Yeah, Jose Canseco would definitely do it. I'm trying to think about like who were. Who was the guy who we traded, the relief pitcher we traded from the Giants, who was really small but kind of ripped, and then he fizzled out. He was like 5
What
foot
year?
10. Oh man, we're talking like 2005 probably.
All I can think of a 5'10" pitcher is Tim Hill.
No, not. I mean, I think his name is Tim.
2005.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see.
I can't think. Ryan Vogelschlong.
Nope. Look at this Chiefs content we're giving you guys here.
Hey, we're local. We're sticking in local wise.
Yeah, we're sticking Royals relief pitchers 2005. Let's see what we got here. Jeremy Offeld, no, but I can see Jeremy Offeld doing it.
Former Giant.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't him, but Ambrose Burgos. Wasn't he the guy who actually had a fake name?
I have no idea.
DJ Carrasco, I can see him doing it.
Yes.
Jimmy Goggles.
Oh, Jimmy. Dude, okay, hey, Kyle Farnsworth. I think Kyle Farnsworth. He plays hockey, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, for sure. Mike McDougal definitely would do it.
He had some mutton chops.
Yeah, let's see here.
Matt Stairs definitely would. No. Matt Stairs is slow pitch. No, slow pitch softball with Matt Stairs. It's hitting, cranking tanks.
That's probably true. All right. Maybe I wasn't 2005. Maybe I was like more like 2010. Let's see here. Who were the Chiefs pitchers in 2000 and
I think Greinke might.
Brian Bannister. He definitely would.
I don't think Bannister would. I think he's too prissy.
What about Bruce Chen?
Hell yeah. Greg I Holland. Love Bruce. Give me some Bruce Chen. Holland, no.
Yeah.
Heck, sign MJ Melendez up now.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Hold on. All right, this is it. This is my last Google, and then then we're moving on with G stuff. All right.
You're really trying to figure out this picture.
I know. It's literally gonna kill me. I'm literally. Tim Collins.
Tim Collins.
Yeah, Tim Collins. There we go. That's who I was talking about.
I'm glad I got the Tim right.
So 2011, I was off on the year. He's made his debut in 2011. His last game was in 2019. 3.6 ERA, 245 strikeouts. He's 35 years old right now. Is Tim Collins your guys' current pitcher that threw the
That'd be sweet. No, I don't think this is not Tim Collins.
All right. Well, yeah. So he's like 5'10", lefty. I mean, he could deal. He could deal for his size.
That's basically what Kyle is. He's 5'10" lefty.
Yeah. So see, that's what I'm saying. Maybe Kyle is his name Kyle Collins? Is he Tim Collins' brother or
No,
Tim Collins? Tim Collins, like in disguise.
That'd be funny, but it's no. That's not the case.
All right. Well, anyway, so the last pick the Chiefs had of the draft was Brashard Smith, running back, SMU. Listen, he's a guy who's a converted wide receiver. You see why the Chiefs wanted him. His versatility is there. Catch out of the backfield. He's got some athleticism. He did some kick returns. But, I mean, honestly, I didn't like his tape. I think he's still really raw. And I thought he looked, for all of his athleticism, I thought he looked unexplosive on tape. And Corey Krosky-Merritt was still on the board even then when the Chiefs selected with their last pick. And they took Brashard Smith. And so that was probably my least favorite pick of the draft. Also, just because with every single pick, I was like, look at all these awesome running backs on the board. Take one of these running backs. And then they just took other guys who were, like we've already said, are really good players. But it's just like, I by that point, I was just too like bummed out of like watching every awesome running back not be a Chief. And so,
yeah, but I don't like it. I don't like the pick. I don't think he makes none offense. You're not making the team.
I don't think he makes the roster. Yeah, that's. I think that's the problem. Is I don't think he beats out Elijah Mitchell.
He's not beating out either of those two.
Pacheco, and then I don't even think he could beat up Deneric Prince at this point.
I think he beat out Carson Steele.
No, and so I don't think he makes the roster. But he's a 7th round pick, so it is what it is.
Give me the Crocky J any day, every day.
So before we get out of here, we'll go over a couple more topics for you really quick, Krame.
Yeah.
So there was a story that broke this weekend, like we talked about earlier. So apparently Shedeur Sanders is not a 1st-round draft pick.
Well, hold up. Is he still on the board?
I think he's still sliding. I think he's
still sliding.
Still falling deeper and deeper into the nether. So like, is it shocking that a guy with mediocre arm talent who doesn't throw over the middle of the field, holds onto the ball too long, and has character concerns because he's a spoiled Nepo baby whose brother releases a 26-minute video the day after the 1st round where he's on tape saying that he deserved to be picked in the 1st round and that he shouldn't have slid. And while showing pictures of him super iced out in front of walls of his like clothing line and videos of all of his Lambos and everything. Like, of course, teams are going to think that, oh, well, maybe football is not this guy's number one priority.
It doesn't seem like it.
And maybe this guy has, doesn't like, here's the thing. If you're a quarterback, you're the leader of the locker room. And I don't blame a team for saying, I don't want this to be the primary voice leading my team in the locker room. Right? Like, I don't want this to be the leadership in my organization. I don't want Deion, like sure, fine. Deion Sanders may be a good college coach, but I'd be fine with an NFL team saying, I don't want Deion Sanders' style of leadership, of him bringing in celebrities on the sidelines and turning the sidelines into a recruiting sideshow every single weekend and having a running documentary that's just live broadcast onto YouTube, like a reality show, every single day. And while also pimping his own, brands during press conferences and everything else that he does. And we don't want that to be our brand for our football team. And we don't want his son to be our brand of the football team. I think that Shedeur sliding had as much to do with his talent as his personality. And I also think it had as much to do with the NFL giving a big middle finger to the Sanders family too.
Yeah, no, that's I think at this point in time now for Shadura is what do you want to focus on? Like you need to pick one or the other. Either be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, work your ass off, bust your ass off doing that, or go be a social media influencer. Because that's pretty much what he's basically trying to be this entire time. I think with him sliding in this draft, I hope this lights a fire under his ass and he becomes the next greatest quarterback in the world. He has the potential of doing that. He also has the potential of failing and failing super hard. But at least at least you know what he can do to fall back on. Social media. That's exactly what he likes to do. He likes living on that. Heck, I'm pretty sure he even had a concert after the first round, anyways, at his place. Which, if it's me and I want to be in the NFL and I'm a first round talent, my ass is going to the NFL draft. I want to experience that. That's a one in a lifetime thing. You can have a concert some other night in your house if you wanted to. I think there's the priorities lie somewhere different for Shedeur Sanders, and it shows heavily. Now, let's see what he can do now in a Cleveland Browns uniform because I hope nothing but the best for the kid. I do. But you're not showing me anything right now, knowing that you got to work your ass off being a fifth round draft pick. And so many bad quarterbacks were drafted above you, and it's because of talent-wise, and that's what the NFL thinks of you. Your talent is not where either draft experts think it was or even where your dad thought it was. It's just not there.
Well, and I think that there is an aspect of it where like the NFL is, like you said, is saying like we don't believe you. We don't believe in you. We don't believe that you want to play football. We don't believe that you want to put in the work that it's going to take.
It's like benefits that Saints guy that got drafted, but he's not a second or third round caliber quarterback. Like, what in the hell were you doing there?
Yeah, like that was as much of like an indictment of Shedeur Sanders as anything that you saw the entire time. And I tell you what, like the story broke shortly after the draft that that Shedeur Sanders received a prank phone call from
hilarious
from the son of the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons.
Hilarious.
Jax Ulbrich, Jeff Ulbricht's son.
When I found that part out, I even laughed even more.
It's awesome. And I tell you what, the only people who enjoyed Shedeur Sanders getting prank called more than the people who prank called him was probably Shedeur Sanders, because it immediately shifted the narrative from him being a fifth round draft pick and a guy who slid and a guy whose had character concerns and talent concerns and commitment to football issues, and who no team wanted him, and the Browns basically used a throwaway pick to take a flyer on him, to Shedeur Sanders is a victim. Oh, look at poor Shedeur Sanders. That it was supposed to be his big night, and this punk ass kid, prank called him and took his big night away from him. And yeah, put your tinfoil hat on.
I got a conspiracy here
because Shedeur Sanders may have paid his ass.
Yeah, no, because he even said, because he was even talked about. I think I saw it in Good Morning America, where he, like, one of the quotes he said was, "Kids will be kids. That people are going to do some silly stuff. Like, you just don't say that for being prank called. Like, that doesn't, like, to me." How much does Shedeur pay this kid?
Well, I don't think that Shedeur necessarily paid the kid, but when it happened, Shedeur and his camp were like,
"Thank God,
thank God, bingo! That we can milk shit out of this. We have an out. We can turn this into I'm going to get to go on national television and be the victim and get people to feel bad for me, and then I can leverage this into social media hits, into more interviews, into more dollars, into ad dollars, into good, public goodwill, to turn people's opinions in my favor, like all of it. And so, I mean, the kid I didn't know that Jax Ulbrich was Bart Simpson, right? Call it, I guess, call it Shedeur Sanders. Hello, is Ivana Jackoff there? I'm looking for a last name Jackoff, first name Ivana. Yeah. IP freely.
But seriously, I wish nothing but the best for the kid. I do. But you got to pick whatever you want to do and to stick to it. Don't do both right now. You don't need to do both. Win football games. That's what you should be. That's what you should want to do.
Pick a lane and stick in it. All right. All right. Let's real quick before we get out of here. So one thing that was crazy was the Travis Hunter trade. I just want to hit on that real quick. Jacksonville Jaguars came out of the gate and just took their big floppy sack, just laid it on the desk and said, "This is what we're doing in this draft. We're gonna this pick is our draft."
Yep.
Essentially.
Yep.
Like we're gonna go out and get the guy, and then we're gonna.
I love Travis Hunter. He's gonna be such a stud.
Peace out. Yeah, he's gonna be such a stud. I hope that he plays more wide receiver than cornerback, just for his sake. But yeah. All right. Before we get out of here, really quick, Krame, give me your grades on the AFC West for each team.
Denver Broncos, I have them at a C+. They did great getting Jahdae Barron in the first round pick. Falling to 20 is massive. After that, don't like the rest of the draft. RJ Harvey out of Central Florida, he's decent. Pat Bryant, slow. Like, I don't like what the Denver Broncos did.
Yeah, what were they doing with Pat Bryant? Like, I like the RJ Harvey pick, but not when there's like Dylan Sampson.
Exactly. That's why I didn't like the board whatsoever, because of that reason. I don't know what the Broncos were doing. They tried to they drafted a punter. Punter was drafted. Congratulations. Kind of saved it from being a C to make it a C+. That's the reason why. I love. I mean, I'm not going to say it because the homerism in it. I loved what the Las Vegas Raiders did. I had them at an A-. I do. I might be a little too high, but they did what they went out there for. They got their workhorse power back. That's in Ashton Jeanty. I don't care if it's you're not supposed to take a running back in the top 10. But them trading back a couple of times in the second round was telling something. They were trying to make sure they can get as many top 100 guys on the team as possible. They get Jack Veach at a wide receiver at TCU, which that's a great pickup right there. Kind of wish the Chiefs would have shelled out and got him. Darian Porter Jr., 6'4" corner, loved it. Caleb Rogers guard and Charles Grant out of William & Mary. You and I both love Charles Grant from William & Mary. So I think did a great job securing, I think it was like 12 draft picks that draft. Then the Chargers, I got them at as B. Amarion Hampton, nice. Trey Harris, they needed a backup to Ladd McConkey because Ladd McConkey's a stud. Quentin Johnston's not great. I like how they get Trey Harris and Kyle Kennard. Getting him in the fourth round, such a steal. Oh boy, that's a big meaty man we got on our screen right now.
That's a big meaty man, and I just wanted to point out that he is the anti-Derrick Henry. Like when I talk about look
at them quads. I was looking at his chest. Holy shit, Rocky!
Like that's what I'm talking about. Like that's why I think Derrick Henry is an overrated bitch, and I think Ashton Jeanty is the stud. Like this is the legs of a running back right here.
He's gonna be fun. You get to watch him twice a season.
Yeah, I do, and so I just wanted to point out his.
So what do you think of those grades they gave these guys?
I mean, I really liked. I don't want to. I mean, my
just
body.
Be completely honest, Rocky. I'm always completely honest with you. Please be completely honest with me.
Like, listen, I really liked what the Raiders did in the draft. I thought the Raiders had a really nice draft, especially with Jeanty and Kennard, 2 draft crushes of mine. I felt like the Chargers and the Broncos both kind of started out hot, and then towards the end of the draft, you were just kind of scratching your head like, what the F are you guys doing? Like, did you just run out of players on your board? You had 100, they had 100 players on their board, and they were like, oh, well, let's just start tossing darts and taking guys.
The Chargers' last pick, Trequezie Bridges out of Florida. Harbaugh recruited him to Michigan, so it made sense why he drafted him.
It doesn't matter. Like, the guy was a UDFA.
Yeah, it's 256, literally the pick before Mr. Irrelevant. Does it really matter?
No, it just means that you can control and get the guy that you want. It doesn't really matter. But even before that, it was like it started to fall apart a little bit, right? I mean, it was for
the Broncos, it was a drastic drop off after their first selection. Yeah, it dropped off.
Like the Chargers getting Amarion Hampton was awesome. That was great. It was amazing. Trey Harris was a great pick as well. Like I love him, but then like like they got Jamari Caldwell, right? Like it's like okay, it's like it was like a so-so.
Yeah,
Draft.
once they got Kyle Kennard, after that it was downhill.
Yeah, it was. You're just like,
Like,
what do you
like
guys?
you know how like the Mamba, you go up and you go down, and you go
Yeah,
back up again, and then after that's all downhill from there. That's exactly what the first 2 picks were for the Chargers, going up the Mamba. Then that first drop down was Caldwell, defensive tackle out of Oregon. Went back up because of Kyle Kennard. Then it went down the entire time. That's. I think they had a Mamba-esque draft.
they really did. I mean, like Branson Taylor, like don't like him. Rondé
No,
Gadsden, I do like him a little bit as a receiver, but it was a little rich for my blood at 165. Keandre Lambert Smith, like no, like it's like what are you guys doing here? Like
they're throwing darts at a dartboard is what they're doing.
they are throwing like RJ Mickens. I wasn't.
I don't like that. I don't. I didn't think he'd even be drafted. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, like I don't like him as a player at all. Like it's just like what are you guys doing here, man? Like Kyle Kennard was a nice pick. Um Trey Harris was a nice pick. Marion Hampton was a nice pick, but I didn't like the Jamari Caldwell, and I thought that was super rich for like Jamari Caldwell going in the top 100. I think is a super reach for him, and so I don't know. I wasn't a fan of what the Chargers did. Wasn't a fan um of what the back half of what the Broncos did, and I unfortunately liked what the Raiders did.
This is
That's it.
It's interesting. That I hope this lays the foundation for something for the Raiders at least.
Yeah. So remaining holes on the Chiefs roster, there may be a spot for them to go out and get another running back if they want to add some competition. They might not. They will probably bring in another veteran lineman before camp just to compete and just for depth for camp. Whether or not the guy makes the roster or not will remains to be seen. Other than that, a couple, depth pieces here and there, but the roster is mostly set at this point, I would say.
I think so.
As far as starters go. And so, yeah, like you might see like just like a journeyman guard get signed or something like that for depth, right? So Krame, did the Chiefs do enough? The Chiefs do enough to get themselves back over the hill to win the Super Bowl next year?
No. They did enough to get back to the Super Bowl. I could say that, but I don't think they did enough to win the Super Bowl. Like I'm just not sold on the offensive line. I'm just not sold on it. Once I'm sold on it, then I'll be fine. But the battle always starts in the trenches. Always starts in the trenches.
Of course it does. I think on the defensive side of the ball, they're undoubtedly better in the trenches.
Oh yeah.
Now they're undoubtedly better in the trenches. I think the defense is undoubtedly better now than it was last year, which is crazy because the defense was a strength. I think the wide receiving core is better this year, just by nature of getting Rashee Rice back and adding Jalen Royals. I think that the offense is better on the whole. I do think that they do need to. They had an opportunity to upgrade the running back position. I don't know what they're going to do there. Maybe one of the running backs that was selected this year is going to push a guy like a veteran running back from another team to get cut, and the Chiefs might be able to sweep in and grab somebody. But
what I'm concerned right now for the Chiefs is you just got the 2-year option with McDuffie. At least you have him for the next 2 years. You picked up that 5th year. Now, and you still have yet to re-sign or extend old Trey Smith. Like, what are we waiting on? Like, what are we legitimately waiting on?
I think you're going to see that pick up in the next coming weeks, just because I think that talks just stopped and everybody was focusing on the draft. Like Veach said that like his agent had like 10 guys in the draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, if I'm Trey Smith, I'm trying to figure out my future. Like I'm trying to figure out this now.
But they have time to work it out now that the draft is over, and I think that both sides just agreed to
hope so.
Push pause until after the draft. And
that'd be massive if they lose him next year. Massive, dude.
Yeah, they have time to work it out, though. They have time to work it out.
Get it done before the season starts, and then I'd feel confident because I don't think it's going to happen mid-season.
You don't want this turning into a Chris Jones situation for sure.
I don't think Trey Smith. I don't think he will actually sit in a suite and watch a game.
He won't sit out.
This Italian mobster-esque people.
Well, here's the difference: is that Trey Smith is playing on 6th round draft pick money, and or 7th round draft pick money, and he hasn't had a payday yet. And Chris Jones was sitting on like going into my 3rd contract, and I want to be the highest paid player in the NFL money, and he could afford to miss a game check. But if you're Trey Smith, you can't afford to miss a franchise tag game check. Like we're talking $1 million per game.
That's massive.
You're going to be saying peace out to. So yeah, no, I don't see him sitting out at all. But I do see the Chiefs trying to work something out long term before the deadline. But yeah, other than that, I'm Rocky Magaña. He's Kramer Sansone. Draft is over, baby. That's a bow tie on the Veach season, draft season. Thank you very much for kicking it with us. We will still be going on throughout the off season, talking football, Chiefs, whatever else comes to mind. Probably some stuff that's super inappropriate.
Majority of the time, Veach season, baby.
But we love you guys. Be good to each other, and stay real. We'll talk to you guys next time.